Madhouse Podcasting Network.
Oh shit! You got that on? Wait, is that a picture or is you got my face over your shoulder?
Yes, he does.
All of a sudden, I go like, wait, what the fuck? What?
That's what you're supposed to look like.
Yeah, that's what I was going to come out and get. I'm still planning to get my cast, but it's like, all right, let's get through flu season year 2.
I have the.
And see how it goes.
I have the old school one here.
Yeah.
The pullover, yeah, and then we have 2.0 or actually
we got the new one.
4.0 technically, right?
Yes, sir. You are 4.0.
I sent you a high res image. You got it, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, yeah, we were all over it. We had a plan, we had a schedule, and then
the world said "fuck you."
And we'll get into that. First guest. And I'm telling you, man, this is the guest that you guys have all been waiting for. We have the godfather of Ghost Town, not Scary Farm's Ghost Town here, Mr. Wade Gordon, a.k.a. the Green Goblin. Dude, thank you so much for joining us today on this episode and for being our first guest.
Well, you guys are my brother in arms, or brothers in scare. So
yeah.
We have spent a boatload of time doing what we love.
Yes, we've been
between the three of us. There's well over 50 years of hunting experience right here.
Yeah.
And
I'd say more
30
like
years
60.
And 30 years of laughing our ass off.
Oh.
Yep.
While doing it
and making people piss their pants and cry and injure themselves.
Lose bodily function and therapy and scarred children for life and us just I don't know how the hell you just get good at and love what you do. Like something like this.
Well,
much less.
It's just like we've always said, man. It's like we can't. It's very hard to believe that you can actually get paid to do something that is this fun.
And as stupid as the shit we do too.
Or much less, to be able to go someplace, get paid to do what we do. Or if we did that in the outside world, we get arrested for it.
Yeah.
Yes.
or if we were to do it today at Knott's Berry Farm, we'd be fired in an instant.
Oh, for what we do? Oh yeah. But you know what? For what? Oh yeah, because I don't know if we even want to go there right off the bat about how much it's changed. Because I mean, it's a stupid old fart saying that the kids now just really don't know how what they have and how good it was back in the day.
Yeah.
And I hate to do that, but it's because of what we did to where it is right now. Right. I mean, and there's other venues. There's Hole in the Walls. There's other theme parks that are still gems in the rough. Well, Sandusky, even though they technically own Knott's and Knott's started this whole thing, Sandusky is like Haunt was 20 freaking years ago.
Yeah, because they're still in the early stages.
Well, this year they're just going to a Thursday, Sunday schedule, and I think that's because again, kind of like what we were talking about before, everybody's kind of got a fervor to make up for a lost year.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're saying, okay, we want to go for a Thursday, Sunday, where it was just Friday, Saturday, Friday, Saturday, Friday, Saturday, and it's like, this is cake. I could stand on my head and do this.
Yeah. Well, that's the reason.
10 nights of Hunt, not 50.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why, like, we, another reason why we decided to do this podcast. We wanted to bring on a lot of the old school and, so we could show people, like, Knott's was just, Scary Farm was so different back when, let alone when I started, when you guys started. And I wanted to bring that to light and, so people can see just the drastic differences between the two events now. Rightfully so. They got to adapt to the current times, of course. But
they've lost so much of the flavor.
Yeah, yeah.
or it's more that they've been hindered and the governors are on and they're so limited to anything, well, much less that we're now seem to be in the offend culture that someone has to have a safe space. Seriously, don't go to haunt because there is no safe. There should not be a safe space. This was the event to go let loose and have either side of the fence, guest or monster.
Mm-hmm.
This for a monster. It was cathartic. For the year that you had, this is where you could let it all out there and just relax, relate, release.
Right.
And the guests
Break
paid
people.
to come in to have that release of actually walking into a horror movie, their own personal horror movie, and whether they were the hero or the victim or whatever, for every person we scared, there was somebody at least 10 feet behind them laughing their ass off.
Oh, yeah.
If it wasn't us.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So since we're talking about the actual history of the event, Wade, let's get into your history, like when you started. I mean, I know your background, but let's put it out there so our viewers, by the way, viewers, bear with us because we're probably going to stray a lot since we've known each other for so long. But let's start from
was it like 30 years?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, 30 for you guys.
Yeah, 30 for us.
20 for me.
20 for Jeremy.
So there's a lot of history there, but yeah, let's talk about your background with the event and how you got started. I mean, my understanding is, you were a train bandit in the 80s, and that kind of gave you the exposure to the haunt realm, and you kind of started from there, correct?
I as a kid, I grew up in Buena Park.
Right.
I was like Beach and Malvern type of,
So
like literally, I was literally down the street. Well, similar to you. You're down the street as well. It's like I'm a kid. It's like not just kind of started when I hit my teens, and I was 18 years old, wanted to get a job. Oh, look, it's summer, Knott's amusement park. Woohoo! All right, let's go get a job. So I got a ride operator's job. I parachute jump, hit the two buttons, goes up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, nobody fell out. Good. All right, it came back down. Let them out. Do it again. All right, and then end of summer, they said, okay, we're going to keep you. Woohoo! I got a permanent job. Yay! And then they said, your rotation with Sky Jumps over. You're now a train bandit. Well, technically, you're a bandit. You're a conductor. You rotated between the two of them. So 1 week you're a conductor on the train. The next week you're a bandit. And then that's how it rolled. And then summer's over. Oh, look, Halloween's coming. The train doesn't operate because back in the day, trying to push the train through the square while it was, oh my God, crowded was impossible. So the train's done. So, okay, great. You're a bandit. Train's not operating. You're scheduled for a haunt. Here's a mask. Go scare everything by the tracks.
And that was it.
That was literally it. I'm ride operations.
Oh my gosh.
It was not even entertainment. It was just ride operations. You're a bandit. It's October. The train doesn't operate. You're scheduled for this event. Here's a mask. Go scare everything by the tracks.
Nice.
Okay. In your cowboy outfit with a mask on.
Well, yeah, because ghost town.
Yeah.
Ghost town. I'm in jeans. I'm in the vest. I'm in my cowboy shirt, and I have a mask on. And it was just a big floppery rubber mask. But see, that was back in the day when they. Oh God! Hey, let's just go upgrade. Oh, silly, stupid thing.
Yep. We all got it.
Yeah. The lines for the mazes. You know that, okay, so the train goes, and just before or just as it makes that one turn, that first turn right behind the Birdcage Theater, there's that gate.
Yeah.
Well, behind that gate, we're
the western entrance.
No, before the western entrance. It's before what was Bigfoot Rapids?
Yeah.
Is there now. There's still the gate there. Or it used to be a gate. Now there's like food places in front of it.
Yeah,
but there just used to be a gate there. But they ran the maze lines along that entire stretch.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Right behind Wilderness Dance Hall.
Yeah. Similar to that. So You had the tracks. So you had a spot there where there was basically the mazes were running by there, and it's a chain link fence. So you go hit that thing, and the whole line would jump. Woohoo!
Nice.
Or
Yeah.
just jump up on the top of the fence, scare the entire crowd, and then walk around. Hey, Roaring's 20s. Let's see who I can mess with around there. Hey, let's go around behind the Berry Ride, the
Fairy tales.
yeah, Berry Tales, the whole going all the
Bumper
way
cars.
around to the track where it comes across where there's between Mexican Village and the Roaring 20s.
Yeah.
Yeah, scare everything along the track. Come into the main square. Mess with people in the square. Hey, it's right next by the tracks, right?
Yeah.
So I'm messing with people in the square. Okay, I may have blurred the gray line from here to Log Ride, but
Shocker.
never happens, right? I'm heading to break, right?
Yep.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is close,
Sort
right?
of.
Yeah,
Lines.
sort of. Oh,
Zones.
I'm
What?
sorry. No, in the first few years, break. What's a freaking break? You think I
Yeah.
want to stop while I'm in my teens and I can scare all night? Well, no, I did scare all night long.
Yeah.
So it's just oh, dude, I got hooked.
Right.
I got freaking hooked.
So it was kind of like a fluke. They're like, oh, hey, here, go scare people. And you're like, oh. Okay.
I mean, I knew about the event. I had gone to the event as a teenager and waited in the stupid long lines and didn't really kind of get it and anything like that. But yeah, I became a ride operator. October, here's a mask, go scare everything by the tracks. So I did that for a year. Loved the holy crap out of it. And then I worked Knott's as a ride operator for 3 years. Finished up on Montezuma's. And then I went to go get educated.
So for those first 3 years, you did the same thing as talent at Dairy Farm?
No, the first year I did talent. Second year I worked corkscrew. Third year did I make a third year? Oh shit, I'm old. I don't remember if I worked the third year or not. Yes, I did. I worked I'm sorry, let me take that. Yeah,
You worked
corkscrew, and I worked Berry Tales. I worked not Berry Tales. I can't even remember what the name of it is. It's not Berry Tales. It was the race, the racing
Auto
thing.
race.
Oh
No, not a race. Right next to auto. That was next to auto
Soapbox.
race.
Soapbox Racers.
Soapbox. That's it. Thank you. Yeah, Soapbox Racers.
So
the
back
third
then,
year.
when you were ride operator during Haunt, that's when you guys got your faces painted, huh?
Oh yeah. Everybody got their faces painted.
I remember that. I remember those days.
There was no safe space anywhere.
I remember those days.
Everybody was painted. And all the employees were painted. Even if it wasn't a themed area or anything like that, there was painted people everywhere. There was no safe place.
So how at this time, how many quote unquote monsters were there during this time, roughly?
I could, since I was kind of a lone operator for the when I did the scaring people with the train, I would see a monster once in a great time. But see, I wasn't part of entertainment. I wasn't part of any of the meetings. I wasn't part of anything that was official. It was just I come in, I clock in, I put my mask on, I go scare the crap out of people. And then the second year was a ride. Third year was a ride. Then I was out. But while I was in school, I'm going like, wow, I really remember that. You know what? This is on the week. It was only on the weekends.
Yeah, doing that on the weekends.
So the first year, I was out. The second year, I went, all right, I got to go do this. And I grabbed my friend. I was working doing biomedical. Go figure. And then I dragged my friend Ray with me. I said, hey, let's go do this thing.
Wait, Nichols?
No, Ray Vallejo. Ray Vallejo, the first Indian.
Yes.
Yep. The first Indian.
Okay,
and
so
I said,
wait, what year? Let's backtrack a little bit. What year was that first year? I totally spaced on that one. That had to have been like early mid 80s.
I want to say 84.
Okay. That sounds about right. I couldn't recall, but yeah, 84. I was thinking like 86.
As a rider rate, as the first year of Scared? Ooh, no. Oh shit, I want to say 82.
Holy shit.
82, 83. because the years were really weird. And then I skipped a year, and I want to say my first year back officially actually hired by entertainment was 84, 85.
Okay, so when that transition happened, you said you brought Ray Vallejo in. He was an Indian.
Both of us, because it was like, hey, let's go do this. And we went and stood behind Independence Hall. We did and the line was not that long back then. Yeah. There was a few core people. There was Roger Kinker,
Bob Pensky,
Charlene,
Rosie,
Rosie, because Rosie was with Roger.
Yeah.
It was the first court, and there was a little cliquey group of people who have done it for like a couple of years, 3 years or something like that. They had the lion face before Lynn. They had all the major prosthetic stuff that most everybody recognizes recognizes a version of it at this point.
Yeah, the key roles.
Yeah. So we went and did the auditions. Auditions. I'm sure you're going to hear a little playing, but it's dumb because the first like 4 are really nice and have a flow and constructive, and then it just starts turning into yelling and screaming and writhing on the floor. So the first 4 or 5 is like, all right, there was actually a character development and stuff like that, and hey, do this and this and this, and then after like that, the creativity just goes around the floor. It's like, okay, who's the most creative of screaming, yelling, and writhing on the floor?
Yeah. So, okay, when that happens, you go through that.
Yep.
Now, is that right about the time the Goblin was developed?
Nope. Karen Goldfuss was running it at that time. Craig did not have it yet.
Holy shit, that's old.
I had scared.
Well, Craig
before,
was a
obviously.
man.
I scared before. You got to remember back in that day, at my threshold and just a little bit before, they only hired for streets big dudes.
Yeah.
I mean, if most of the monsters were anywhere from 6 foot and higher. Ray Vallejo, Ray was 6'2", but I'm only 5'9".
Yeah.
I was. It's like they kind of looked at me and said, "Well, I only got 2 spots left," and it's like, I've done this before. I know how to do. I was the shortest. I was pretty close to the shortest monster they probably had at that point.
Wow.
Yeah.
And they said, well, okay, but we got 2 spots left. They wanted Ray because Ray was a big dude.
Yeah.
He was half Samoan and half Hispanic. I mean, Ray was a big boy and could move lightning freaking fast. It scared the crap out of me. And then they so we only have 2 spots left. You guys can have them, but they're Pekins.
I was gonna get to that too.
Pekins.
They're Pekins, and a Pekin was in Ghost Town. You had little vignettes where you had the laundry up front. You had the sheriff's office. You had the sheriff's office. You had the laundry. There was a few others there, and they said basically you're a half hour in. So basically sit in there, stand like a statue, hope somebody comes up to look in the window, say, oh, there's nothing in here. Turn around, go boo, scare, reset, do it again. So Ray was in we were in the sheriff's office, half hour in, half hour out. And it was the half hour out was freedom. So half hour in was, you think a maze gig is rough? It's just as bad, if not worse, because there's no flow of traffic that you can rely on. It's will someone come up to the window? And usually your back's to the side of it, or just like, there's nothing real in here. Oh, hey, there was somebody in here last time. You hear them because they think you can't hear them, which is hilarious, because that's usually half of our gig is someone says something stupid and you call them on it.
Right.
And then
the good
and
days.
we did that. The mask I had was like a Phantom of the Opera mask. Our thing and the edict was, do not show you're human. Your neck is covered. You have the black out of the eyes. They don't want to see any skin, any flesh color. You got black socks, black shoes. You've got your hands covered. They wanted you to be immersed as a monster. They didn't want the crowd to see that you're human. So we did that, loved the crap out of it, came back, did it over. But the following year, all the veterans that had all these faces and everything like that didn't come back.
They all left.
There was no rehire process. You auditioned.
You auditioned again.
And you auditioned again.
Wow.
And you auditioned again. And then so we came in and I came and then the process was, wait, we'll get into rehires because I was one that said, you have us coming over and over again. Y'all have our information. Why don't we just have a rehire process for the people that you trust and you want to have come back and do this thing? What?
Oh.
We can do that? Yeah, you can. You can hire the same people over and over again. Just run them through a rehire process, do the paperwork, get them into, make sure they haven't like gained 100 pounds that you have to put them in a different costume. I had the same freaking costume over and over again. It just had my name on it. I went, yeah, it still fits. And I had the Gino vest. That's after Gino showed up. Yeah. Oh yeah. But yeah, because I was a Sharpay. I wanted something really loose on me.
Yeah. Size 48
because
pants and shit.
Yeah. I mean, everything on the outside was loose. Everything underneath was all nice and tight and tied down and didn't move. And so I could sweat and breathe and all that stuff. But everything on the outside was extremely loose. So it was flowy.
Yeah.
Cheesecloth, the whole thing. Yeah, we'll get into sliding later.
We're gonna touch on that.
So yeah, all the old school guys didn't show up. They said, okay, great. You are makeup.
So this is what, year 80, 85, 86, maybe 87?
Yeah,
Okay.
85, I think it's 85. I think the picture I have, the group picture I have is 85.
Okay.
Yeah. Is 85 where I'm, no, 85. I have the Phantom of the Opera mask. Then I guess it would be 86 or it's either 85. It's either 85 or 86.
Right.
I'm sorry. I can't narrow down the dates.
That's right.
I'm not good. You know how it is for me. Everything turns into a blend. It's just the flavor of
mush. Yeah.
Yeah. It's mush.
Yeah.
So they said, you have a mask. And that's, Cindy was the makeup artist handing out. She was one of Abel's students.
Cindy, I remember her.
One of the many that we all love and hung out with as best we could.
Yeah.
She was like, okay, well, let's see your face. All right. And back then it was just reach into the box, grab out something and say, okay, this might fit you. Because they were all throwaway faces from Abel's special effects makeup class. So
right.
the students that didn't take home or keep any of it, they were all just basically in a box. That box went to Knott's and it's like, this is Haunt.
Goodwill.
Nice.
Yeah, pretty much. And Cindy pulled out that thing that looks like, from the guy from the Outer Limits, the guy that did the ear, looks like my face.
Yeah, the original, the very first rendition of Green Goblin
had little ears on the side. It had the sunken kind of like alien / goblin face, and they just like, yep, that'll fit your face. There you go. That was it.
Nice.
And that's how it started.
That's how the Goblin started.
So did you know it was a goblin, or you just like, I'm going to call myself the Green Goblin?
No, at the time it was like I was gruesome number 5.
Yeah.
I was gruesome 5 or 4, and I think I got to be gruesome number 1 for about a decade. That was fun.
So how did that character, after you got makeup, how did it evolve into the Green Goblin?
The guest.
See, this is something I don't know.
The guest, pretty much.
Really?
The Green Goblin, and you know what? I'll blame Ray for some of that because we go play video games together. I mean, we're still kind of we're fairly young at the time, and we hung out and spent a lot of time together. We play video games and stuff, and said it's like we were playing something at the time. I don't even remember what it was. And he
something that was Spider-Man based.
No, it was it was Battle Mechs. you get in the little pods and you play a bunch of other people and stuff like that. And I said, shit. And it's like they give you a card and it's like so you can build up your points and blah blah blah. And I'm like, what the hell should I call it? Ray said, why don't you use Goblin?
Okay.
So I'll blame Ray for that.
Okay.
But but the character looked like a goblin. People would just call a goblin. You're on the streets and nobody. It's like, I'm sorry, you don't want anybody calling you by your first name while you're
Nope.
you're on the streets. So Ray was everybody was just started calling me Goblin, and at some point Karen said, all right, Goblin.
Nice.
Wow. So it was a fluke, basically.
Yeah. Well, it looked like something.
Yeah.
People started calling it, and it just
Evolved.
it just morphed.
And
it morphed.
the green was always there. One that was what she painted you to. That's your favorite color.
It is my favorite color. And then after the second year, so I had Cindy the first year, and then the second year I had, and it's like I had the Goblin and did the seasons, and I came back, did the auditions. Hey, my face fits because Knott likes to rotate everything, so my clothes were the same. My everything it's all theirs, and then I had Glenn, and so we're in like the middle of the run, and I'm going like, because that's when the pig twins were there. That's when
the twin sisters.
the original sisters. Yes, actually working with the original sisters. Their brother was there.
They were amazing.
Yeah. Oh.
Jeremy, you never got to see them.
I never got to see them. I probably saw them as a guest at some point earlier in the years.
What I mean.
Yeah, but maybe I've seen them and I didn't know that was it. But I never had the honor to work with them. No.
Me neither.
Okay.
And when I was working streets, so was Craig. Craig was the Catman.
Yep, he was a Catman.
Yeah.
So I think I worked with Craig on the streets for 2 or 3 years. We got to work on the streets before they promoted him up.
Don't think we won't talk about that if we can get him on the show.
Oh, and there's actually some old promo pictures of me as the Goblin and Craig and the Bride and a few other characters. But the twins, you want to talk about two people sharing the frickin' brain. Holy bejeebers. They would totally leapfrog each other. It's like, so one would come up and nail you and it's like catch you off guard. And while they're running off and you're watching them, the other twin would come up and nail them right over again.
Nice.
And it would you'd see people's brains go, what just happened? Because there's two of them.
Right.
You hear that a lot. There's two of them.
Yeah.
They were so good.
Yeah, they were amazing.
Gymnasts.
So many talented people doing stuff. I mean, Vatrin, Gene, creating iconic characters that have never been really, Gene doing the Bride was amazing. Gloria doing the Bride now is just taking it to a whole nother.
She has
insanity.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's taking it. I didn't think anything could top the Bride because I've seen people do the Bride and then, transition out and then someone else take it and just, no. Sorry, no.
Here, I don't know if you guys can see this.
Oh, yep. That was the second face, and that's exactly where I was going to go. So I had Glenn, and in the middle of the run, I said, because of the twins and a few people, because they were actually cast for their faces.
Right.
Because what I had was not made for me.
Yeah.
So we're talking like lathering the freaking glue on, and for then it was all prostate. It was all prostate.
No,
so
it was spirit gum back then. Sticky shit.
No, we only had prostate. We didn't have any of the clear shit. And Abel didn't like to use the spirit gum because of it's nasty shit.
That's bad.
It'll stick. It's the getting it off part that's just a nightmare. It's going to take layers of skin off, and if you're doing this nights upon a nights of each other, you're not going to need a mask after a few nights because you're just
mostly using the movie industry at that point.
Yeah, because you wanted something that wasn't going to pop all the time, something that didn't take much touch up.
Right.
But for what Abel was putting on everybody, he was using mostly prostate, which we had our sweating issues because we were running around like crazy people. So I said, Glenn, so correct me if I'm wrong, but if a face is casted to somebody and it fits them, so it takes less glue to keep it on, it fits better, it looks better, and it's easier to take off at the end of the night. Oh yeah, sure. So you're a makeup artist, right? Yeah. you know the materials to do this because you've taken Abel's class and everything. Yeah. So this summer, why don't we all get together and you like cast a few of our faces, and that way the next year it's easier on you, it's easier on us, and it looks good, right?
And you get
we could do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we weren't thinking that. We're just thinking, hey, less glue looks better. It's my character. I get to, and then hey, if I got a character that's physically made, I can rotate it year after year after year after year.
Yep, right. Every year.
Like, woohoo! All right, so we do that. They kind of, it's been a couple of years since they've done it. So him and Cindy casted Roger, myself, and Ray. We kind of basically had 20-pound bricks on our faces the way they did it.
Yeah, back then, I can imagine.
It's like they kind of forgot a little bit, but at the end, it's like Roger had his face, I had mine, and Ray had the Indian, and it's like,
dude,
wow,
Ray's Indian face was so fucking sick too.
Oh yeah,
I love that face.
Oh yeah, and he made the whole the bone chest piece. He had the hair. Ray looked amazing. And again, I don't think people expected somebody that large to be able to move that fast.
Yeah.
So when he wanted to go get somebody, God help them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's gone. And much less you do that freaking Indian scream of his, and then it's like, that was it.
They don't like that. I'm going after him.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So yeah, we had our own faces, and then a few more people say, "Hey, that looks good. Hey, let's do." So more and more of us started getting our own custom faces, which kind of built on what Abel did, and it kind of helped solidify the look.
Yeah. So now about that time, it's been a couple years. Now you're breaking into almost coming up onto 1990, correct? Like 89,
yes.
90. And you're on your second rendition of the Goblin.
Yes, we're on the second rendition of the Goblin.
Yeah.
Theoretically.
Theoretically.
Yeah, because the first one was just basically blind ass luck.
Right.
Yeah. And it rolled into, hey, I want something custom. So yes, and what we wanted was something. I basically said I want a blend between what I currently have now, and I guess basically because it's the Goblin thing starting to roll over. I said, and something between. I want to blend between this and the Green Goblin for Spider-Man. So. And that's pretty much what I got. Well, and then with a feel of that Outer Limits character what is it? McCullen did the guy who does Ducky for NCIS. So I mean, because I think he did the original character for Outer Limits. I think, if I'm remembering right. All right.
I don't know.
I'm sure somebody will correct you in the comments. On that one.
I'm sure. By all means.
Yeah. So
that's when you had long ass hair still. I remember that.
Oh yeah.
See, that's the thing, dude. I remember going as a guest and seeing the Green Goblin from the very first generation when it was just a generic pull.
Yeah, and they go that because I'm a smart ass. They go because everybody wore wigs because they wanted to hide the human, and I went, I got long hair like the wigs, and give me 15 minutes outside running around, and it's going to look wet and stringy, just like in fact, it's going to look better than what you got.
Yeah,
and you know what?
Real.
I won't be as hot.
Right.
I'll be cooler. So, and there was a lot of us that had long hair. I mean, sorry, it was it was the 80s, it was long hair days, and we helped. Most of us had, Roger had long hair. I had long, we all had long hair. So it's like
the mullet days, dude.
Yeah. Bingo. That's it. So a lot of us started getting away from the wigs and actually having real hair. We all had the headbands because one, that helped keep the face on. Two, it sopped up, all the sweat that's going on. But even before that, most of us wore headbands just to keep the freaking wig on.
Yeah.
Right.
Because it was a lot more comfortable than hairpins.
Yeah. See, my first year on streets too, I was wearing a headband because I had that god awful wig.
Mm-hmm. When I had my cowboy hat, that's what kept my wig on.
Yeah.
And I made sure I got a little bit of a smaller one, and I just put some elastic in it, and that kept my wig on.
Made it tight. Yeah.
For years.
That's funny.
Okay, so how many years did you run that second generation? This is where things get a little bit muddy for me.
Oh no, it gets easy. It gets easy for me.
Yeah, because we're starting to get more current.
2000.
No.
The second
You
rendition
did not
for
run
10
that one
years?
till 2000. You're kidding me.
No, I kid you not. I ran that second rendition till 2000, where we went with the full head dome.
That's right.
That's right. Because I remember when that was done.
And the second and that third one. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So that third one, I sculpted.
That's right.
I sculpted that one.
I remember that. I remember you telling me that.
In your kitchen.
In your kitchen.
Yep.
Yep.
In my kitchen.
Nice.
I sculpted that one. I wasn't really thrilled about the whole. I mean, it was a great idea. It was like people liked it and everything, but it
looked fucking awesome.
It looked fucking amazing.
Afterthought 2020 is, oh shit! I got foam on my head and it doesn't breathe. I hated bald caps. Every time someone said, "Hey, you want a bald cap?" No, no, get the hell away from me with that.
You did that once, though. I remember that. I did it before I came out the streets.
I did it, and there's a picture of me in the bald cap, and you can see my face that I am just dying of heat prostration.
Didn't you have something written on the back? That was a year.
Oh God, yeah.
Gino was painting everybody.
Oh yeah.
Wrote "spick" on the back of Frankie's vest and got in trouble for that.
Yeah, on the back of mine it said "suck it."
There you go, suck it.
Oh yeah, it said "suck it." Yep.
I know we just totally skipped a bunch of stuff because
because there's a whole lot going on in that first year in the first year in makeup. Is also the first year I slid.
And that's when it started, right?
No, we were kind of but that's the belly slides.
Well, I mean,
that's the old school belly slides.
Cheesecloth.
Yeah, that's where we would wrap the crap out of our knees and our elbows with cheesecloth. We were wearing 2 pairs of gloves on. That's even way before metal, where we were just mostly duct tape the crap out of your hands, and the duct tape with the heat and the grinding on the ground would turn into almost like a plastic shell.
Yeah, good old Jay Mead.
And that's exactly who taught me how to slide. That's my first slide. It was like the last nights on that season. He said, "Hey, I want to show you something. Come with me." It's just started to rain. Like the last weekend night, right in front of the Smith shop. There was this bitchin' puddle, because the street goes down sort of like a little V, little U. Right in front of there, he was like, people would come down the street. We would go both bolting out and just slide and just spread water all over the place, drenching
now I know
people.
Why he likes playing in puddles.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because me, and when it rains, it's like, everybody's under the eaves. I'm right out there I'm just out there
making a mess,
playing in the rain. Yeah. And scaring the crap out of people.
You're sweating anyways. Why not? Right?
I'm already wet.
That's exactly my theory. I was like, why is everybody hiding, man?
Yeah. And it was like, I'm already going to go in wet. I might as well enjoy the rain. And plus, the rain would limit the haunt funk.
Yeah.
Which, if for those who don't know what haunt funk is, you've never gone to haunt and you've never worked it.
Exactly.
Because I'm sorry, monsters do not smell pleasant.
They do not.
I mean, we don't notice it.
Especially before Febreze.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And even then, you're going to burn the Febreze off.
Yeah.
The Febreze was afterwards, so you could actually get close to your clothes.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Just just thinking about that. Taking wet, slimy clothes off at the end of the night, just that process just makes me want to.
It was so bad some nights that the next day they could not dry them off fast enough. You would put it on the next day still wet. Because they would just put fans. They had no time to do laundry every night. So we would end up putting on our costumes still freaking wet and stinking from the night before.
Yeah. Then we got smart, started bringing our own shit.
We started,
I was going to say, because we're smarter than the average bear, while all those people are picking their wet clothes off of the racks that didn't dry, even with the big fans on them. Yeah. Oh, wait. Let's see. Cowboy outfit, jeans, shirt, vest. Okay, I can't take the vest home because they get a little picky about that. But jeans, Western shirt, I could get that shit.
Yep. Unless you were sneaky enough to get the vest out.
Yeah. If you had two vests, you could do it. Yep. But I wasn't worried about the vest. Vest is fine because you know what? I'm going in. Okay, at this point, I'm sliding. I'm bundling everything up with cheesecloth so I can slide. I've got a chest protector on. I've got I got like a similar to Under Armour before Under Armour was actually even freaking made to where things would bleed out, and I'm good underneath. And then the vest over the body armor and stuff. Didn't even feel it. Whatever. If it's wet, I don't care. At that point, I'm fine.
Yes.
But yeah, Jay Mead is the first one that showed me the whole sliding thing, and then that became a thing, and I realized, okay, I'm going to be able to do this for a few. Oh shit! How long was I sliding like that? Was like
not long
5.
Because
it was like 5 years, 4 or 5 years. We're sliding like that.
When the first time I actually saw like the next evolution of that was when I started sliding, and I started sliding at 16, and that was in 1988. And I was doing it in my parents' garage. I told this story, I think, on one other thing. I asked my dad to back the car out, and I slid in the garage. I didn't know how to stop yet, so I smashed into the garage door.
So basically, you were doing the depot gag before you even knew you were doing the depot gag.
Exactly.
Yeah, pretty much. So right about that time is when you changed over too, because I saw it.
Well, it kind of freaked us out at first. I mean, because we weren't. So we're belly sliding, and that's what Todd hated, because it was like, ow, this hurts. Well, if you do it wrong, it does. And sometimes even if you do it right, it could hurt. And he came up with what he had, but there was a weird that transition of, hey, we found this kind of cool new thing, but control was the big question. Because people were, there was no real gear developed. What kind of, it was all what crossed over badly, what crossed over well, some people are coming out in like catcher pads, but they were so thin because they weren't made for friction. They were just made to, so the baseball doesn't break your kneecap or anything like that, but they weren't made thick. But people are coming out with stuff like that. Control was the big issue. It was a matter of being able to show control. And those of us who've been sliding on our bellies for everything, we started, okay, well, let's try this out. And it was just a bike volleyball kneecap, or a knee pad with a cap just glued right on it. That was
initially,
it. That's how it mostly started for a lot of us. And then we all started, hey, wait, we can actually, like putting on rollerblades for the first time. Going is not the problem. Stopping is the question. Stopping within a specific time frame, seeing your left and right, peripheral vision. That's why we always played all the stupid haunt games, because it kept your spatial awareness in the off season.
Nice.
Right. Yeah, because I mean that's how I correlate a lot of how that was started, because that's when I started. So during that time, and that's what I started working actually hunt in 1990, and that's when I really got to see, like when I went on breaks and stuff, where I got to see you guys work. But even though I already seen everybody work, now I'm going to make you feel old, Wade. I'm going to make you feel real old.
Oh, my wife does it to me all the time.
So going through haunt as a guest all the time, I think I told you this too, Wade. Always watching the street talent, and I'm thinking, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. And the Green Goblin always stuck out for me, right? I'm like, I want to do what that guy does. So I go through haunt 5 years, 96. I get on streets, and then a couple weekends, and I start running with you. A guy that watched you work when you started and then starts running with you. And that's when the fanboy moment came out in me. I'm like, holy shit, I'm working with a guy that I wanted to be like.
I get that a lot.
He's like,
I get that a lot, but you saw a lot of that. I mean, it's like it's like when Charlene and I were getting that award for, I don't know, was it 25 years of service or something like that? It's like I thought about it. It's like, how, because you have that story. Mm-hmm. Trish has that story.
Yeah.
There's a whole role. It's like, I almost wanted to say, so how many people here are doing haunt because they were scared by the Green Goblin? I think
a question,
a lot.
People. How many people went to work haunt, if you're watching, that you came to work haunt because you got scared by the Green Goblin or inspired by him?
Yeah,
leave that in the comments.
Yeah. I think if I can recall, I do believe that was brought up in orientation on my first year for streets. I think
Get
Craig.
the frick
I
out.
think Craig had mentioned something about like a lot of you could be here because you got scared by the Green Goblin, and this is what you want to do. And I was like, "Who the fuck's the Green Goblin?"
Who the hell's that guy?
What is that guy?
Who's that
Jeremy
guy?
was like, "What the fuck is sliding?" Initially, so
Dude, honestly, that year I was like, "What the fuck is Ghost Town?" Like, I was so green, no idea.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm a kind of a, and well, you know me, Dieterman, and you too, Jeremy. It's like I'm kind of a rock. I mean, I when I get my hands into something, I just do it. It's either 100, 110%, or I'm not interested. I mean,
yeah.
For a lot of that
nothing.
time in the first years of doing haunt, I'm just the guy that just came in, put on a bit, went out, had a great time, came back in, took my shit off, put my regular clothes on, put a baseball hat on, and just walked out.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't until this freaking internet and phones and pictures and all that stuff that all of a sudden it became hey, there's that guy.
Yeah.
Hey, there he is. I became freaking McDonald's at haunt. It's like, you knew you were going to see the Green Goblin at one point or another because I just, running around like a maniac or I had my certain spots where I wanted to make. I'm sorry. I liked having a trapdoor spider mentality because more people were definitely going to see a monster going through Ghost Town, especially in certain specific spots as they're going through. You were definitely going to see somebody there, or you're definitely going to see somebody there, or you'd hear people. It's like, hey, be careful because they're usually right around this one corner, and they're going to get a scare. Right. They don't know how it's going to happen, when it's going to exactly happen, or who it could be, but it's going to happen. Right. It's 100%. Definitely going to happen, as opposed to this whole just running loops. I'm sorry. How many times have you been to an amusement park? You lost a friend and you just started doing loops and you're just missing. And once you catch up to him, you find out you're just missing him.
Dude, that's fair. That's Ren fair.
Yeah, exactly. To where I liked having an anchor. Plus, I liked actually having a solid building behind me.
Oh,
so nobody could sneak up behind
exactly.
you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but that whole, I mean, even with going on that as well, it's like, I remember a few years I've lost Chris, like my partner, and he would go do a scare and run halfway down Ghost Town, and I'm like, oh shit, where's my partner? And I'd be running around like for a half hour, like, I haven't seen my partner, where the hell did he go? He decided to just run around, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna go look for him, and I spend the next 40 minutes looking for him. As opposed to sitting still going, he'll eventually come to me.
But
or vice versa.
And I think I could say this for all three of us. I'm sorry, we scared back in the day when there were no metal detectors, that people were bringing weapons into the park, where you did. I mean, partnering up with somebody was a matter of survival because I mean, I could get into the stories of how some of us got injured by guests because they did have an implement, and partnering up was again survival. And that's when the crowds were crazy and there weren't as many rides or as many attractions or as many mazes that pulled the crowds off to go stand in line here, where a lot of it was just in the freaking streets.
Thank you, Power 106 night.
Yeah, seriously.
Inner city night too.
Oh god.
So our gig in the beginning was fun as all get out, but it was also freaking dangerous. Stay partnered. Keep a building behind you. If you're all of a sudden out in the middle of nowhere, keep freaking moving.
Yeah.
Don't be standing in one spot, but you're going, Bueller, where'd my partner go? Bueller, go partner, go hook up with somebody else. And I kind of look forward to some of those moments, or how it was, Peterman, when we were over at Goldie's in later life. It's like, all right, I'm going to take a lap. You get tired. You want to go see something else. And it's like, that's where I go hook up and work with Dave Dean, the prisoner, or go work with Charlene, or go work with Vautrin. especially as the floral. Oh God,
The floral.
I love the floral phantom. Ah,
Yeah.
Dude, his
that
monk
was
was
the
pretty good
best.
too, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but the floral phantom. I'm sorry that. The monk was good and I liked the monk, but the floral phantom, I'm sorry, Steve just brought something out of himself, that evil freaking grin of his. And just twisting the rope and the
it was truly amazing to see a lot of monsters do that. Like they'll be out in the streets and you're just like, who is this fucking person? And then you go and hang out with them outside a haunt and you're completely different. Like Steve, super quiet, super down to earth, and
nicest guy ever.
Yeah, and then you put him on the streets in his outfits, and he's just evil, and just sinister. You're like, oh my god. Same thing with Jean.
Oh yeah, Jean. And then she scared the crap out of you just doing what she's doing, and then much less if she threw a hiss in there. Oh hell no!
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah,
yeah. Jean was. I loved it. Jean was again, salt of the earth, amazing person, grandmother. You know the whole. It's like
right.
And she brought a character that is now immortal now and now it's in somebody else's hands who's just taking it to the next freaking level.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Insane evolution right there. You have the very beginning of it that was just on fire, and then you put the next generation into it.
It could kill it.
Spin on it and just, annihilates people in her own way.
What's great about what Gloria has done compared to the other people that we've seen attempt to take over that role, Gloria she never forgot about the roots of that character. She basically took the roots of that character and then just branched it off.
Yep.
She still screams. Yeah. She still does. She just added the light. She added the creepiness to it. Like she still stalks people like Jean did. Like she just took that character and just said, okay, I'm just gonna, that seed's planted. I'm gonna grow it out.
Well, she you know what? Now that we've talked about Steve and Gloria in the same aspect, Gloria's evil grin is right there up there with Vautrin's evil grin.
Yeah.
With the floral phantom, it's not exactly the same, but just that evil freaking grin is just like, I'm just going to have you for dinner.
Yep, and it's amazing because like I remember seeing her in Jaguar, she was a monster in Jaguar, and I was just like, oh man, she's kind of cute. It's just crazy to see her go from there to just being like such an iconic character. It's amazing.
Well, it's crazy to see character. I mean, back in our day, character development was just something we just did.
Yep.
I mean, we just took it on. We created our own characters.
Freak standing on your left shoulder, Wade.
Intruder!
Actually, the hilarious part that she was like, I said, hey, I got this podcast and I'm going to talk with Dieterman and Jerry. And go like, oh shit, I've heard all these freaking stories. I don't want to listen to it. You go do what you got to do. I don't want to hear this.
Yeah, look at her.
I've heard them 100 times. Haunt stories.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's
now the world's gonna hear it.
He can't even hear you. Yeah, my poor dog.
Yeah.
Actually, her poor dog.
Yeah.
But no, that brings up an interesting point. Something I've always found fascinating. You could always because a lot of the best street talent came out of the mazes, but it was always interesting that you'd see somebody who was amazing in a maze and doing really great stuff. And as soon as you put them into an open space where there's no walls and it's just you and the crowd,
they're lost.
and just watch them be deer in headlights and just all that fabulousness that didn't happen in the maze. I mean, the fabulous that happened in the maze just didn't translate to the street, where other people who were mediocre in the maze came out on the streets and just went, who the hell are you? And where did that come from? Yeah. Where have you been hiding that?
Yeah. And Scott can really vouch for that because how many people have you pulled from a maze thinking that they would be amazing in streets? And you're just like, what the fuck happened to you?
Sometimes it takes them, a weekend to get their feet wet, but that's where a lot of the coaching came in.
I've seen, but we've also seen people that just went the whole run and just on their belly. I mean, just nothing. Just nothing. They just couldn't get out of their brains and do it. Where other people, you know who I'm thinking of is that was really great that came out of it with Chase. Chase was just bonkers.
Which one? Chase
McCauley. What's last?
McCullough or Culver? Culver was the first one.
Yeah, the first one.
Okay.
Because you'd walk in the mazes and you go like, why is this room empty? And all of a sudden you hear this bang, 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 and he's freaking above you.
Yeah.
he's pressed his hands and his feet between the walls, and he's literally spider walking across the freaking wall on the ceiling.
That's
Chase
like Culver.
Yeah, that him, and he's like. Yeah, I think we pulled him like he was in the maze 1 year, and it's like, boom, you're coming out on the streets.
We got to get this guy.
Yeah, so that was amazing. But Knott's got such weird and a plethora of idiosyncrasies that it's. And then just talking about scaring. I mean, we all have our own way of doing it. We're still getting kind of the end result, but everybody has a different way of reading people and approaching the scare. Or like, I mean, from us to Alex, who did Bobby, to Paul Frechette, to Chris and Jeremy, to you and me, Dieterman, to when I was with Ray, to Jeff Long, and much. It's like. It drove me crazy when people would come in, and it's like, okay, yeah, you know that they're pulling the whole.
Uh-oh, you froze. Did we lose him?
I don't know. We'll see.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
I switched networks.
Gotcha.
All of a sudden I realized, I'm on the slow network. I should probably go to the faster one. Yeah, but it drove me insane when people would come up and go like, "I want to be just like you." No, there's already a me.
Yeah.
No, there's already a Dearman. There's already a Jeremy. There's already be freaking you. What are you bringing to the table? If you're just going to be a clone of me or some other person, I'm sorry, I already got one of those. What good are you?
Yeah.
Go find what makes you happy and you can bring your piece to the table to make you the next whatever greatness that some kid's going to. I want to be like that guy.
Yeah, and I remember you guys told us that because after our orientation, Craig said, "Hey, if you guys want to go slide, go talk to the monsters that are at the hanging." And I remember that was one thing you were just like, "If we can give you any advice, be you, do your thing. Don't try to be like everybody else. Go and do your thing." That's the reason why Chris and I were like, you know what? Fuck sliding at first, because we had like 12 people that were in front of us. All of them wanted to slide, and we're like, okay, we're not going to do that. And then we're going to go take that advice and we're going to go do our own thing, And then of course Trish and Scott come pull us, and they're like, "Oh, you guys should go slide," So was second weekend, right?
but the thing that I think you got later is the way you and Chris slide. Nobody else was sliding the way you guys were sliding.
Right.
Nobody was sliding the way Dieterman was sliding. Nobody was sliding. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm the old fart. Okay, everybody's going to lose their mind when I say this, but you've heard me say this a hundred times. Sliding is a cheap scare.
Bam.
It is. It's one trick.
It's too easy.
In the complete
it's
bag.
too easy.
It. Don't get me wrong. It's fun. It's explosive. It's exciting, and it's a cheap freaking gag.
Yeah.
And yet we do it because it's effective. Yeah. But if your only thing is all I want to do is slide, we're back to you're worthless again.
Exactly.
You only have one thing in your thing. And wait, I'm sorry. We can all say this. How many times have we had a night where we were not 100%? We were injured. We tweaked an ankle. We tweaked a knee. We have a cramp. We have something where we're not. I can't slide because I can't stop in the time frame that I need to where, okay. And I've seen kids do this. Like all they're doing is sliding, all they're doing is sliding, all they're just sliding. And I go like, hey, what's going on? I heard this. And it's like, okay, so now what are you going to do?
Yeah. And it's funny you say that because that leads to a character that I did during a time that you and I were not in like happy. You remember this?
Yes.
Well,
I
you
do,
and I were
because-
not in happy times because I never knew why, and we finally talked it out, and it was because of that. You were like, you're injured, and you are not doing what I know you can do, and I didn't know that. But
because you are an amazing, talented human being. The stuff that you and Chris did and could do, and even the things you could do even injured or without Chris, you were stuck in your head, and I didn't have the ability to put in words that, why are you in your head? Get out. I'm watching you being miserable, not doing what you loved and couldn't be doing, as opposed to, Jeremy, you're so fucking talented. Go scare the crap out of people with something new that pull out of your ass.
So with that said, so everybody listening, during this time, I lost my partner and I was running. It was the beginning of me running around by myself. I had also gotten injured, and I wasn't 100%. So, and during this time, I just got bad vibes from Wade. I'm just like, why is he so mad? I mean, tell Scott, I'm like, dude, why is he so pissed at me? What'd I do?
I'm cranky. Oh, I was cranky.
You were super cranky, and it wasn't just that. You had other things I believe you had going on, but I was getting just really bad vibes, and I hated it. I was like, this sucks. So I was like, well, I'm going to be mad at him too. Instead of talking to you, I'm going to be pissed. So the ironic thing was, I created a character for one night. I'm like, I'm going to go and throw some jabs at this dude. So I created a character. I mixed some faces together, and I created this character, and I had the best fucking time. I had so much fun.
That's when you had the Goblin chin on.
Yeah, I called him Wade. I was Wade for one night. I had Steve Botcher's eyebrows. I had the Goblin chin. I had my lucky face. It was just a hodgepodge of just of
Dude, it was horrible.
It looked really goofy. It was freaking so bad. It looked goofy and amazing at the same time. And I had the best time that night. And then you and I finally talked. And when we talked and you told me, I was like, fuck, I feel like a piece of shit. I felt so bad.
No, I was so happy because you actually stopped. You got out of your head.
Yep.
And you know what? You put the most ridiculous thing on, and you had a great time.
It did.
And that's the one thing that I always say. It's like, well, why do you do Haunt? Well, I do Haunt for one reason. Me. Mm-hmm. I enjoy it. I have fun. I don't just do one thing. I mix up I try to do all the flavors. How many okay, I've got a lot of tricks in my toolbox. Oh yeah, in my bag. So, I enjoy forgetting something and then rediscovering it all over again. So I stopped doing Knott's. I got a chance to do Universal. I got to see what they do. And it goes right back to don't have one. What you remember, Dieterman? You remember when we all went to Universal that one year and all our regalia? It's like I'm sorry. When you hand everybody a freaking chainsaw, it's cute for like the first half hour. It's like listening to your neighbors having sex. It really is. Because you know what? Exactly. Because it's cute and funny and you giggle for like the first 20 minutes or anything. Yep. And then after 45 minutes or whatever, come already. Get it over with. Right. I'm tired of hearing you. Get it over with.
Oh, man.
It's the same way with freaking chainsaws. It's like you give everybody a chainsaw. It's cute for like the first 20 minutes. And after a while, it's just freaking annoying.
Yeah.
That's what I loved about Haunt back in the day, because we all had our flavor we brought to the pot, and it's like this melding of stalkers to sliders to roamers to people coming out of certain places to the characters we had. We were all one big group, and we're all individuals at the same time, and it made it magical for not only the guests but for us, where we tell the same stupid stories over and over and over again, because those were our glory days.
Minus the nasty ass stench in that pot. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
but what we still, but you know what? It's like going through a battle with your brothers, and you know what? We survived it. We went through it, and we all have a deep respect and love for each other. That the only people I can relate to is actually military vets who have that same kind of brotherhood because they went through hell in a handbasket and made it out, and those who made it out okay.
Yeah.
We have this brotherhood that it's you can't compare it, and then you take that to a different haunt, and it's like it's kind of it's exactly the same but totally different, because now I did Universal. It was cute, it's fun, but it was so robotic, and it didn't have a heart. It was taken from you are cast. This is your part. This is all you do. You are stuck between here and here, and this is all you can do because you're doing this character, and that's all the development that character had, where we had free reign to develop our characters, to be able to work with each other, to going from one night to being a slider to go work with people who stalk, or go work with Charlene who's going to blends into the ivy across it and play decoy for somebody who's going to pop out, or Dave Dean, who might be up in a freaking tree, or who knows where, or go work someplace else, and then if it rains, that brings a whole different flavor into the whole. So we had those glory days where we had the freedom to develop and work with each other, where now I'm afraid Knotts has gone. Knotts has their head up their ass, because they created it, and as opposed to being the innovator they should be by keep pushing the limits and creating, they all of a sudden they ended up with competition with Universal and Queen Mary and all the and Magic Mountain and all that stuff, to where they started chasing someone else's tail, because Universal has the most beautiful sets ever. They have gorgeous mazes. They have fabulous lighting. They have all these amazing stuff. But you know what? They're a freaking production company. They better have beautiful sets.
Exactly.
They better have gorgeous everything else. But where they don't step up is, here's your character, here's your box, stay in that box. And there's no development, to where we just fell in love with our characters and our fellow characters. And we worked as a team, and we created this wonderful stew we called Haunt, to where we created an environment that it had a heart.
Yeah.
It had a heart, and it had a soul. And we did what we did.
I feel like where it goes wrong, and we'll just touch upon this really fast, but it's just like, I think the biggest limitation is IP. You're utilizing IP. You're limiting your people to IP. One, there is a big fan base that, I want to go through and I want to live the, be in Halloween and get chased by Michael Myers, or I want to go through and, see the Exorcist actually spin and spew up blood, or whatever it is. But like, when Knott, I mentioned that only because when Knotts did The Grudge, yes, we got some amazing talent out of that, Jill being one of them. We got amazing talent. But when Knotts did The Grudge, and they did this whole test, like, Universal's doing it, we might as well do it. That's where, like, I kind of felt Knotts lost their but they typecasted for that maze, and they limited a lot of people to do certain things in that maze because they had the IP had specifics on what these characters were supposed to do that don't work in a maze. Jill, being one, was able to do all that stuff, the contortion, and be able to, she had the body type, so she was able to just kill it in that freaking maze.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
But it wasn't like that for the whole cast. So when you go through that maze, you see her, you get creeped the shit out, but it's like, you go through the rest of it and you're just like, I just saw 5 of you over there. I just saw, okay, well, same thing when you go through a Michael Myers maze. Like, I just saw Michael Myers come out of that closet 4 times. Oh, there you are. Oh, there you are. Yeah, it's like,
it's predictable.
It's predictable. It doesn't work,
No.
So, and it doesn't work. And people go because they want to see that, and that's fine, but it's not good for a haunted event at all.
Yeah. Well, and we're back to the blend. It's like, okay, I get to where, you know, IP is good because it's a draw because people want to experience that in real life.
Yeah.
They want to be there. They want to see it in real life as opposed to on the screen. But you're now a one-trick pony.
Right.
You're now a one-trick pony with your event because it's all exactly the same. It's stagnant. It has no heart. That's okay. So
I want to touch a little bit about like when
that's pretty much a golden age.
Yeah. When the hanging cast monsters were brought into fruition.
Oh.
So I remember that, but I didn't get brought in until a little bit later. So I just kind of want to know like how that started.
Okay.
And I know that came from Tom Clough, but I just don't remember what year it was.
That could be a whole episode.
Oh, the hanging? Oh, all by itself.
Well, we're just talking about the monster cast part. Yeah. That's it.
Let's go to the original hanging. So, witch, anti-hero, before anybody knew what a freaking anti-hero really was. So, part of the whole procession is, okay, we got the hanging. We got these 2 or 3 shows a night. We got like 9, 10:30, and midnight. Something to that effect. And then it's like, we need a procession to bring the witch out on the cart to bring her to the gallows.
Right.
So, and you've got the stunt crew who's basically been volunteered into being, the hanging cast. They're all set. They've done the rehearsals. They're actors, stuntmen, wannabe actors, stuff. But we need grunts. We need people to pull the cart. We need someone to bring the witch out, bring her off, put her thing. So we would be the talent, the street talent would be pulled off the street to be at the cart at a certain time, bring the witch out to the stage, move the cart out of the way, and then we would line the inside barricade to make sure nobody would hop it, interrupt. Safety, keep them away from the pyrotechnics and all that stuff. So we were the body. So we bring them in, bodyguards, part of the crew. The guys dressed in black, but actually were characters, so we're part of the show to some extent. And then that is really the base root of monsters being part of the hanging was way back when, because they needed someone to bring the witch out, move the cart out of the way, do certain things, much less be that layer of employees that would keep people away from the stage.
Like
because because we had, well, back then we didn't have all the craziness and the stunt rolls and all this stuff. It was basically a really simple,
it was a hanging
10, 12-minute show where the witch basically made everybody look like idiots, made it off scot-free, and made everybody look dumb. And the witch won, which I never got why they thought, no, no, never mind. That's a whole nother show in itself. But that's how it is. And I think Tom, in his reminiscence of how it was originally, it's like, we really need the monsters to help with this, because now he's starting to make something more elaborate that really actually needs stagehands to move mats, to do certain things, grab stuff, get it off, to strike stuff, move stuff. Much less it's like, well, shit, I got him on stage. Why don't I just have him do stuff?
Right.
Integrated.
Yeah.
Integrated. So Craig says, hey, Wade, yeah. What's up? What can I do for you? You're in charge. What just happened? It's like hanging. You go pull a crew of this many people. You're now in charge of them. So if anything goes wrong, I come to you. Oh, damn, I'm screwed. And you guys, you take care of all the stuff. You do whatever they want. You have to be here for the rehearsals because they're going to utilize you. And then blah blah blah. And you've got your hanging crew. Okay, thanks, boss.
It was fun. It was extra pay. About a month of extra pay.
Well, because I think that back to the whole IP thing. I think that we were our best worst enemies, because I'm sorry, we were known by everybody to be, how do I put this politely? We were a little mischievous at times.
You think?
It.
Let's see. Monster drags, humping in the square.
Oh.
Duct taping people to trees upside down.
Oh, you know.
Oh, I don't know when that happened. I don't know what you speak of. Full-on water fights during the hanging show.
Yep.
Blood bag fights too.
Humping in the pump house? Not what everybody
Toaster oven
thinks it is. Yeah, I mean, we're a little mischievous, but we were pulled to be at the show. That's how the whole sliding show started in the front. And it's like we kept telling people, if you guys took a camera and pointed it right down in the front pit and put it on those big screens that you have for everybody, this would be entertaining and a half for everybody that's standing around waiting for.
Yeah, because only the people in the front mainly got to see it. So
can you see it?
Oh, is that a certain someone hanging upside down?
That's certain someone that's in the yellow shirt on screen above you. That's Jeremy in '97, his rookie year.
Oh my
God. I love you, Jeremy.
Remember that?
I do.
We all remember that. Wait.
Yeah.
Nothing. Why? What'd you hear?
Yeah.
Oops.
You're documenting a history that's been around for a long time that really only we kind of know it.
Yeah.
Because we lived it.
Well, it's crazy too because you could talk about as much as you want, and if we don't go into detail, even when we go into detail, people still won't really really get it. Bro.
Yeah.
The respect
level. You knew the job was hazardous.
The freaking respect level, I tell you. You really won't get an idea until you see the photos and video and all that.
No, you got to put the photos with it. You got to put all the stuff. I mean, if you get like people today, to see what an original hanging looked like, they're going to like, why did it ever go away? And it's like, it really never should have.
Yeah. So much nostalgia there.
Oh yeah.
Well, it was simple. It was non-political. It was a crisp, clean, easy show, and it was dark. It was amazing, and it was dark. It was dark. Very dark.
Yeah.
Without being, over the top. It had its subtleties, and again, the witch was the freaking anti-hero. She made everybody look like idiots. She won, and she gets away scot-free. Mm-hmm. And to have all those people picketing in the front, that was the. Dieterman, were you there for the year when we lost power?
No, that was before me.
Oh, that was the best. Okay, so quick story, or I'll try to make it quick. So
this is a good one. I remember it happening.
So we're hanging the witch. We're hanging the witch. We have all these Wiccans protesting in front because they're not because they don't get that the witch is the anti-hero. She's the hero of this whole story. So they're picketing. You're persecuting women. You're Wiccan and blah blah blah. So they're Knott is ignoring it. We don't care. Whatever. Go ahead. Protest everything.
The way it should be.
So we're in the middle of haunt. I think it's like 9 something like that. Main power. No storms or anything. Main power out goes.
Whoa.
Now you've seen the backup generators in the back. That is some serious shit in the back. I mean the big steam generators and everything for backup power for photos like this.
Yeah.
Backup power doesn't work. Nothing works.
Down.
The whole park is down, out, nothing. No main generator, nothing on the grid. And it's, as far as I know, it's only affecting the park and maybe just the immediate area. Backup generators doesn't work. Everything else like that. So guess what? Next year, we're hanging a doctor.
Wow.
So they proved their point.
Witch is done. Out. No more witch. We're hanging doctors.
Do you remember what year that was?
Oh,
that was in the 80s, late 80s.
Yeah, it was before you, so it was like 87, 88, something like that.
I started in 90.
Yeah. So yeah, that was like, wow. All right, it proved their point. Yeah. Did some kind of crazy thing or who knows what, but yeah, we lost main grid power and we lost the generators. Generators wouldn't kick in for nothing. I don't remember how long it was out. I don't know. I don't think it killed the entire night, but I think it cleared out a good chunk of the park for a period of time because nothing's operating.
Yeah. What's the point of being in there? Wow.
So that was a big chunk of history. That's why I wanted to go back.
Okay.
Because there's a portion there because I mean the hanging cast monsters is a big part of the Green Goblin's career there.
Yeah.
Well,
That's why I
yeah.
wanted to
Well,
go over
that was we had our own crew. I don't, you know me, I don't like cliques or anything like that. But we were a tight group. And I'm sorry, most, but I tried to have as nice of a blend and everything. But I wanted good, talented people. That's why we had Dusty there. That's why we had a bunch of some of the best sliders in the park, because we're sliding in the beginning. We're doing the whole tunnel thing. We're jumping. We're doing things. When we got the big alleyway right through the center of the square, that's when things went off the hook. Oh yeah, that was a game off changer. The freaking hook.
Drag racing.
Back to say, why do you guys not have a camera on us during the beginning? It's like here's the other weird part about Knotts. This is an ongoing thing. You have this fabulous event that makes a shitload of money, that pulls the park through the slow seasons. They make a crap load of money, and the people who are management and run this event absolutely flat out hate it. They hate the event. They hate the monsters. They hate all because I don't know if it's because we come in for 2 months out of the year. We have a blast. We have fun. We're frivolous. We're great. We're actually fun people to hang out with. And we have a great time. And management absolutely freaking hated us. They hated the event they had to put on. It's like this ugly chore they had to freaking do, and they hated Haunt. And I think that actually kind of was part of the family, because here you have this wonderful God-fearing Christian family that have this pagan festival happening in the middle of their park that actually gets them through the freaking slow season and makes them a shitload of money. And it's like this love-hate relationship. I love the money and hate you people.
Yeah.
And they always put somebody in charge that hated the freaking event. And we had to work for these douchebags that did everything to either try to break our spirit, put us under their control or their thumb, or just flat out make us a bunch of stiff sock puppets that just stand around and go boo at the end of the night.
Yeah.
Ooh. I'm sorry. Was that out loud?
That was your internal voice spoke on
going
external.
off again.
Yeah. I'm the prodigal son. There's no way in hell I'm ever going to go back there.
Right.
So,
So when was your last year there?
The Purge.
What year was that? That was
2000.
Early 2000s.
2005. Yeah, 2005, I think it was. Yeah. The Purge.
That's right.
Where they made everybody a sock puppet.
Yeah. So 2000. Yeah. 2000.
So you went on hiatus for a few years.
And I made my character immortal.
Yep.
Because it's there. Sorry, the Goblin was always scary. The Goblin scared you. You needed to fear the Goblin. I was not your friend. I don't want to go on long walks on the beach with you. I wanted to see you either scream, cry, or have a bodily function. And in the process, hopefully the people behind you are laughing their asses off.
2-for-1 deal.
Yeah.
So after 2000, so after Haunt, you finish up your career at Haunt.
Yep.
You go to Universal for a year.
Yep.
Then what happened? What happened after Universal? What did you do?
A whole lot of nothing.
You don't remember?
No, a whole lot of nothing. I didn't really do anything Halloweenish.
Yeah, you did.
What am I forgetting? No, I mean there was a whole gap. I mean,
there was a gap, but you did one more thing before you moved out of the state. Come on, dude.
I know we did. We did fair. We dressed up at fair every once in a while with the whole garb thing.
Yeah. There was one other haunt that we
did Jeffrey's.
We got called by a certain somebody to come and work for him.
Oh, you're right.
You brought up his name earlier.
John Cook.
Oh, Cook. Oh, yeah, that was fun. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. Oh, the paintball field. Yeah, the paintball field. He did it. Did we do that 2 years?
Just a year.
Okay, we did a year because then he got yanked back into Knotts with lots of money.
Must not have been as much fun for Wade. He didn't remember.
Oh,
he was actually out there scaring. I was
You
in
were
management.
Yeah, he was. You were running people. You were a yellow shirt. So, me, actually, Francis got to go scare. My wife went to go scare.
Nice.
She got, and you know what? Okay, my wife is deathly afraid of clowns. She hates clowns. Oh my God, she hates clowns. Because she
Yes,
grew
now
up.
everybody
She grew up
knows
in the.
that.
Yeah, well, she doesn't. It's not a secret for her. The only clown she really likes is John Olson. Big John. She for some reason she's not afraid of his clown because him and Bear, because they would always come over and talk to us, and she knew them. But they actually dressed up my wife as a clown.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
and she went scaring with one of the other clowns as a clown, and she had the best time ever. Yeah, she had a best time.
I can imagine it's
clown.
probably different when you are the clown.
Yeah. Well, that was what was that? That was Trish. She goes like, "Oh my God, I went to hunt. It scared the holy living shit out of me. I need to do this to get over my fear."
There you go.
Yeah.
If you ever have her on, because that's a whole other thing. Because there's a whole sliding history, but what is very rarely talked about is when we started bringing women into sliding, started actually teaching women how to slide effectively, and start bringing the women into the group and getting them sliding. And that was awesome because they brought their own twist to the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then, now, if my memory serves me right, Trish was the first female that came in that was actually effectively doing it.
Yeah. Trish is one of the very first that was actually taught exactly how to slide, do it effectively, like the rest of us. And actually Trish and Camille, we also taught Camille.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But Camille didn't stick with it. So, but Trish is the bomb. Trish is the woman.
Yep.
Yeah. And she would do the certifications too back in the day when it was the three of us, remember? Yep.
So, she would help with the certification stuff, which that became a whole deal. So I actually wrote the first sliding manual. Yeah. And then did all the certifications, and yes, we did John Cook's thing because it was fun. The ground was crap, so there wasn't much sliding going on.
The reality was we did it because he asked.
Yeah.
Well, and it was fun. And then I left out of state. I went to Ohio because my wife became a flight attendant, and she was commuting to Chicago, which was a 4-hour flight. And I worked with this one company in Ohio, and I went, screw it, let's just go. And so our commute became down to like an hour and 30 minutes, which was way the hell better than 5 hours. And then, and lo and behold, Cedar Point, who owns Knott's, has their little Halloween event. Yep. And they're technically only running full street crews Friday and Saturday. And then they run a lighter version on Sunday. Cause so for everybody who's in California or anything doesn't know how, Cedar Point is in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah. Yeah. That's Sandusky, Ohio.
It's in BFE, the top north center of Ohio. It's an hour west of Cleveland. It's an hour west of Cleveland. It's an hour east of Toledo. And it's like 2 freaking hours from Columbus.
Where Tony Boy was born.
Yeah, it is in the freaking middle of nowhere. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. It's a fabulous park. But it was always, and it's been around for over, what are they now? 100. I think they just got done celebrating 150 years or something like that.
That's crazy.
It was a travel destination. It was someplace you went to from Pennsylvania or back east because you could do it as a few day travel to be entertained. And they have a beautiful, gorgeous ballroom that was built in the 1800s, late early 1900s. There's stuff there that's older than all three of us put together that is fabulous things to see and stuff and do and food, and it's great. But they do a Halloween event. And I'm going like, well, considering how difficult it is to get into Knott's to do their event because everybody and their brother wants to do it because it's fun. Yeah. Funny, we went out there. We had Henry with us, which is my stepson. So we went to go see the event and went, wow, this looks like fun. We got there didn't know about it and didn't think to apply for it. But there was one guy there that was sliding like us.
Nice.
On the same level or still?
Oh yes, no, same level. Style was, I mean, you could have taken him from Cedar Point, put him in the middle of Knott's back in the day, and you would not know that he was not from where we were.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he was. Trust me. Henry and I stood there and watched him for probably a half hour straight, just watching him slide, do his gig. And it's like, holy crap. And we, because I'm curious, somebody was there and I go like, so where did he, I started pulling his history, saying, where did he learn, YouTube, fucking YouTube.
Yeah. All videos of us.
Yeah, pretty much. And so we're there, and then next year rolls around, and it's like Henry says, hey, I applied for it. They called me. He said, I applied for it, and they called me back within an hour. But what? So what? That doesn't happen in our world.
So you applied?
So I went, well, mother prospector. So I applied. Well, what? 20 minutes later, I got a phone call because Cedar Point is in the middle. There are people that are coming in from Michigan, Toledo, Cleveland, all over. It's like they are, since they don't have the pool of people to pull from, they'll take for the most part who they can that will fit the bill. So Henry and I went in, went through their whole thing. Oh my God, sitting through the general introduction to Haunt and seeing all of our pictures up there, just especially.
Oh my God, that's me.
Yeah, especially. Oh shit, yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
Seeing all that stuff and going through it, but we didn't tell anybody who we were. All they knew, we were living in Toledo. We put down a little bit of Haunt hit, that we've done this before. Not really what we did or how long or anything. Just put it up there. Went through all our stuff. Oh yeah, it was cool. It's like going through the whole thing, and it's like, wow, we're hired. We're talent. Oh wait, what do you want to be? Well, I want to be on streets. Well, what area do you want to be in? Wait, I could choose. Yeah. We got this. Well, they had a place called Tombstone Territory. Oh, hey, that sounds like Ghost Town. I'll pick that one.
Yeah.
I'll pick that one. So that was fun, and then we're going through their scare school. And I'm sorry, because I'm sorry, we've done scare schools, we've written up you and I have done, I don't know how many scare schools or events or promo stuff, and we're first we're like, hey, okay, we got you going through scare school. So I don't know if it's a promo thing, a gig for the news media or an actually serious scare school. Well, it turns out it's actually a serious scare school, and they do it every year. And Henry and I are.
The kids are going crazy.
Just leave your sister alone, damn it. So Henry and I are sitting in the back, and they do their scare school through a couple of, but they have one of the most beautiful inside mazes because it's actually in like an 1800-year-old building, and they built it up. It's got the whole old mystique. It's like Victorian area, the whole thing, and it's just gorgeous. And they use it for storage all year round, and so the maze stays exactly the same throughout the years. So we're in their main maze. We're going through the scare school. Henry and I are just kind of in the back, just like this. They want everybody to kind of participate and get the feel for scaring and blah blah blah. And Henry and I are just going through. Oh, there's just this spot, and we could put lighting in here, and then you got this over here, and okay, this is not even our area, and we're just going through the whole thing, and we're in the back, and the guys who are doing it are kind of looking at us like, what is wrong with these two? Because we're really not participating. We're just watching everything. We're just taking it all in. So after the scare school, I found out who my area lead is, and nicest guy ever. I go say, hey, is it cool if we go walk the area? I want to go see the area in the daylight where we're going to be scaring everything like that. And prepare yourself for a freaking hike because this place is freaking huge, and it's one big long strand. So it was the Baton Death March to our area. which we have to do every freaking night, in and out. So we go to the area and we're walking around, and I'm asking all these questions. Like, oh, we can check this in the maze. And it's like, okay, where's the lights? Where's this? Where's that? And everything like that. And at which point he just kind of turns to me, who are you? He goes, who are nobody? Nothing. No.
I'm just
nothing,
curious.
Nothing at all. Oh yeah. No. I'm just curious. Yeah. Ask a bunch of questions like that, and they go like, what's your name again? Wade Gordon. Yeah. I'm just like, who are you? No, it's like, nothing, man. I just, I like to be front loaded. I just want to know where all this stuff is. And I asked, so what about sliders? Oh, you gotta work first year. Like, mother puss bucket, my own freaking rule of no first year sliders bite me in the ass. My own rule biting me in the ass.
That didn't
no
stick.
First year talent to slide.
That didn't stick.
Well, in that year, yes, it did, because they only had sliders in one area, and it wasn't mine.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Which you know what? Again, I'm perfectly fine with, because again, I have lots of tools in the tool chest.
Yeah, you're like, okay, that's cool.
And I have something they've never seen or heard of called a thunder jug. I have a thunder jug, and they've never, ever heard or seen one in their entire lives.
They're like, what is that?
Oh my God. I came out there with it, and I'm keeping it all nice and quiet. So the first night I have my thunder jug all nice and blacked out and everything, perfect pitch, loud, the whole, I mean, it's a great jug. So I'm taking it out there and I'm keeping it all nice and quiet and everything like that. And as soon as we go, the first just, so they don't do a sweep. So their day ops just rolls into the night ops. If you paid to get in during the day, you paid for the Halloween haunt. You're good for the night. And then the crowd for Halloween haunt, or the crowd that just paid for the event, usually starts rolling in right around 7:30. They have a little pre-show thing. God, I hate the pre-show. I hate the pre-show. And then we march to the back, put our stuff away. We have a little rah-rah. And that's one thing that Cedar Point still has over Knott's. They built a team. The street is street. I don't care what area you're in, whatever. If your mazes, their mazes are kind of outside at the same time. They build. We are a team. We are a group. We are scream. They call themselves screamsters. So they totally wrap themselves around it. They built a really nice tight community, and they're there for each other. So I'm sorry, I'm old and jaded, and I came up from way back in the day. So I'm not big on the rah-rah, but I really appreciate it because it really builds a nice solid group that is that deals. And you know what? It's like Haunt 20 years ago. Yeah, it is like Haunt 20 years ago. They're building their characters. They have a lot of flexibility. They all the stuff that we thrived in, they still have.
How is it that?
That's awesome.
How is it? So this real quick. How is it that they own Knott's? How is it that they can run and do the things that we used to do 20 years ago, but Knott's is so like, no.
Different state.
Well,
what's the difference?
Remember that whole thing I said that the people who run Haunt hate it?
Yeah.
Their people love it. They love the bejeebers out of it.
Wow.
That was one of the reasons they bought Knott's, because they had this event and they wanted to translate it to all their other parks.
Right.
The guy who I answer to, who runs it, and the people over him and everything like that, they seem to love the event. It's fun for them because normally they would close in September. Now they stay open to October. They're building more revenue. They keep the park open a little bit longer.
Yeah.
When the season's a little questionable, because they will get snow. Mm-hmm. It'll happen.
Yeah.
But they seem to love it, and they're appreciative. And unfortunately, since all the haunt stuff seems to be centralized in California, Knott's actually kind of calls some of the shots on what they're going to get, how they're going to get it to ship it back to Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now they build they built on it, and they're more autonomous on stuff they do, but their people really seem to love the event.
That's awesome.
And if you remember, Jack loved the event.
Yeah.
All his people came out, they loved the event, but they were learning it. But also they put, I won't name names. God, I'd love to though. But they put people in charge of it that absolutely seemed to hate the event. Or they took the whole liability thing way too far, or they didn't back their people, or well, I'm gonna get in trouble for that. But Cedar Point, they love the event. The Screamsters love the event. They are excited about it. They can't wait for it. There's a charge in the air, just like what we used to have. Plus, until recently, they were only running it hardcore Friday and Saturday nights. You're only running it Friday, Saturday nights. You have a whole charged crew that's coming back in the following weekend, as opposed to somebody who's burnt out trying to do this 5 days a week and only getting 2 nights off, and then running the marathon all over again for 6 weeks, or for almost like 8 weekends, or 6 weekends. So they're not running their people into the ground. They're keeping them all pumped up. They're keeping them enthusiastic, as opposed to, I'm sorry, we all know the story of where the phrase "suck less" came from. Hell, I sat through the freaking meeting where it happened. Yeah. So, when you have one people telling you go out there and suck less compared to other people, all right, we got another night.
Yeah. A huge difference. Yeah.
Big difference.
So what is it that you're doing for them this year? If you are you working with them this year?
Yeah. Can you talk about that at this point?
I can and I will. I'm certifying their sliders. Okay. I'm making sure they're trained and taught. I'm still kind of debating whether I really want to drag out all my sliding gear and go out there and sweat my ass off, and actually, because most of they know how to slide, and those that are new, they're coming up, and they really need to be working with their other sliders and being doing. But their sliding skills are starting to come up. I mean, they're the guy that we originally saw was not there the first year I went scaring, but he came back the following year. Nicest guy ever, really freaking talented. Reminds me a lot of you, Jeremy. Yeah, actually, he does. Colin. I don't know if you want me to leave his name in or not, but he's an amazing slider. He's really, really freaking talented. There's a new kid that just got certified the year before the pandemic. He is a dynamic, explosive slider. Kind of reminds me of you, Dieterman, just a little bit. So yeah, they've got talented. So I'm going to be certifying their sliders. I got offered to be their slide lead because they actually have a slide team captain that floats through all the areas, making sure the sliders are all doing what they're supposed to be, taking care of all the whole thing.
In costume too, right?
It's in costume, yes.
That's awesome.
It's basically a yellow shirt in character.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah, that's how they run their team. So each area has their team captain, or their team lead. They're in character. Everybody knows who they are, and oh boy, they're big personalities, really good group to work with, and they run their areas in character.
Wow, that's great.
And so now sliding was only in one area. Now it's been opened up to all the areas, or all the areas. So 2019 was the first year that they had sliders in all the areas, and actual, the slide captain was taking care of all the group. And it went off awesome.
Nice.
It went awesome.
Great.
I got offered the position for this year, but they're moving to 4 nights this year, Thursday through Sunday.
Yeah.
And that's tough for you.
Well, I might as well live in Ohio for 6 weeks out of the year.
Yeah.
Because that's 4 nights. That's 4 nights out of 7. Why come home? But with travel and lodging and rental car, everything's just gone through the roof with all this inflation stuff, and travel's gone crazy. It's just I couldn't make sense out of it. Yeah. I couldn't find lodging cheap enough to where I could stay there, much less rental cars are like now some places it's like $300 a day.
Wow.
So yeah.
So are you thinking maybe just going in and getting them trained, and then That's it?
Took the words out of my mouth. Yep. That's why I'm just going to do the training and everything. They're all excited about me coming out to do the training and stuff. I love these guys. They're amazing people.
Nice.
They're really, like I said, it's hot 20 years ago, but they actually love the event. So it's a breath of fresh air.
That's
So I made, so last year during the plague, everybody's going like, oh shit, we're not working. It's like, but there was there was like cornfields because Ohio cornfields. Made the captain of the my area, Tombstone Territory, made him a thunder jug, but I made him a severed head thunder jug.
Oh wow, that's cool. That's awesome.
So he had a blast because they originally gave him a chainsaw. And the owners came through the thing, and he didn't realize it was the owners, but he had the thunder jug, and he put the owners right on the ground with the thunder jug.
Hell yeah.
Dropped them with the thunder jug. It's
Nice.
They said, yeah, you don't need a chainsaw.
No chainsaws. That should be number one. Number one rule: no chainsaws.
Oh yeah. But then he going back a little bit, so he was like, "Who are you?" It's like, mother. He freaking Googled me.
What did you expect?
Yep.
And shit came up.
Yep. You're one search away, man.
Oh, it came up. He goes like, "You're this." Is like,
You're like, no. Why would you hear? It's like, it's right here.
Don't give it up.
Well,
and then the
has come out.
And the wardrobe, the head of wardrobe, sweet woman, she's like she's just like, "You're spies. Not you were sent here by corporate." It's like, no, we're here to have fun.
Yes.
We're here to have fun. And we did. And yes, the Thunder Jug was a big hit. Midwesterners. Oh my God. They're so freaking easy. They scare, again, they scare like 20 years ago.
Nice.
Not jaded, really sweet people. Nice. And boy, do they scare so freaking easy. It was awesome. Flooring people all night long.
That's awesome.
Scary. And it's like, no sliding. Oh, I'm good. Because I went with the Pit Bull, Thunder Jug, and the Chihuahua. So I had, Charlene's squeaky toy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thunder Jug, squeaky toy.
Oh my gosh.
Best time ever. It's like, you just go like, beep, beep. And they go like, what was that? And they go, boom.
Nice.
Done. They're done.
Nice.
So,
yeah.
So, correct me if I'm wrong.
You're probably not. And you're already leading into this, so go ahead.
But the Green Goblin is out there, but it's not you, correct?
Correct. I got to stand next to myself.
That's right. Okay.
I sent you that picture.
Yeah,
I sent you that picture where I was out there. It's awesome. I kind of stole from Spaz a little bit, just a little bit. So I'm just totally a bandit, all black.
Nice.
Hat, mask, and all I have to get painted is right here across the eyes.
Nice.
That's a bandana.
And a bandana.
Right.
And I am doing Haunt Light, and it's fabulous. I'm just a bandit because the character's been handed out to someone else,
right?
Which is fine, because I'm not dealing with glue. I'm not dealing with sweating. Okay, I'm sweating my ass off, but it's way lighter. Yeah. It's way easier.
No touch-ups.
Face.
No touch-ups whatsoever, and nobody can frickin' see me. Yep. It's the best thing. I come out of nowhere because I am just all black. I go hang in the shadows, come right out, and yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Well, wow. I guess we went through everything, right?
Yeah.
We touched on a whole lot.
We touched on a whole lot, so
I don't think we hit everything.
We're gonna definitely have you back on so we can get into like the nooks and crannies of the details because.
Yeah, we crash course.
So many. We can do so many episodes with just the details, and we will. But we'll end it there because I think we're at like 2 hours now.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. We hit 2 hours.
Yeah. Well, Wade, it's a pleasure. I want to thank you so much, dude, for coming on. It's really good to see you. Although
being our first guest,
the guests won't see us. I thank you for being our first guest, of course.
Yeah, Dieterman says like, why?
He's like, what? I'm old.
Why?
I'm like, that's the point.
Oh
the
yeah,
point.
it's like, oh yeah, there's that.
It's not just that. It's the connection that we have with you, especially with Scott. Chris is we're making Chris the second guest, because the connection that he and I have. So it just makes sense to do that.
Well, and you really are kind of covering you're covering a I know we're going over the whole thing, how, when, and through, and where now, but I mean, you really are kind of covering that golden cluster, that period.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I think it really sparked the whole love of I want to do that.
Yeah.
Not just our gen, because we were lucky, and I swear we were lucky enough to be there then.
Yeah.
To whether Dieterman saw it as a kid and came in, or it's like, hey, this looks like fun, or me just flat out lucky.
Yeah.
It just happened to where we were all in the same place where it was the monsters in the pre-show. It was doing that whole thing where we had the freedom to create and thrive and make this thing go boom, to where other amusement parks said, we got to do that shit.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's true.
even when you hear other people's history, like we watched a few podcasts and like Nights of Horror, and we see a lot of the monsters on there, and all their history is just or why they did it is, well, I used to go to Knott's as a kid during our golden times, and it's like, so I mean, just the inspiration that we were able to give all the new generations is pretty remarkable too.
Yeah, it's like, hey, so how many people here because they got scared by the Green Goblin?
You see all the fingers. All right, guys, but we're gonna end the episode here. And do you have any social medias that you want to promote or anything, or no?
I'm so man behind the curtain. I mean, the only thing if anybody gets a chance to go see the Sandusky thing, go do it. And it's finding your own home haunts, but it's back to the main thing. Why do you do this?
Mm-hmm.
And it better be that person in the mirror. It shouldn't be because I just want to slide. No. Can't be that. Hey, I do it because of my partner. No. Partners go away. Partners disappear. Yeah. You can't rely on any one thing. And if you're not doing it for the love of the event, because you love it, you're doing it for the wrong reasons.
Exactly.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you guys for watching. Thank you again, Wade, for being on the show. And again, if you guys want to check us out on Instagram, our links are somewhere around here. And like it will be. Yeah. Like and subscribe, and share this with all your people. So we'll see you guys in the next episode.